evening. Dr. Maria Zeena Jhonson, Managing Director of Sathyabama University and the co-convener of Educational Panel of the Confederation of Indian Industry, CII. I request her to talk on the topic education. Please, ma'am.
எல்லோருக்கும் வணக்கம். ஏன்னா இது நம்மளுடைய தமிழ்நாடு, நம்ம தமிழ்நாட்டே என்று பெருமைப்படுத்தக்கூடிய ஒரு நிகழ்வு நடந்திருக்கிறது. அந்த பெருமை எங்களுக்கு அழைத்த திரு பிரைம் பாயிண்ட் ஃபவுண்டேஷனுக்கு மனமார்ந்த நன்றியை தமிழர்களாக இன்றைக்கு நாங்கள் அனைவரும் பெருமைப்படுகிறோம். ஏன்னா தமிழ்நாட்டிலிருந்து விருதுகள் சென்றிருக்கிறது மகாராஷ்டிரா மாநிலத்திற்கும் ராஜஸ்தான் மாநிலத்திற்கும். அதனால் அடுத்த முறை வரும்போது நம் தமிழ்நாட்டு எம்பிகளையும் என் சார்பாகவும் தமிழர்கள் சார்பாகவும் தமிழர்கள் இருக்கும்படி கேட்டுக்கொண்டு today for the crowd I have to talk in English because I would love to do it if it's in Tamil, but to convey it to all the member of parliaments, respected dignitaries around here, I will make the presentation in education, which is a real need, because any scenario which has to change to bring the nation, education system has to change in our country. This is not there, the difference is going to be done today, but a few suggestions on behalf of an Indian, one among you, I make this presentation here. So first of all as Indians, we know the education system in India is all the government schools. Complete education is taken care by the government, and in the private schools, 25% of the education should be done for the underprivileged children. As per that, 25%, the private schools should give the education for the children. So that is the first scenario which I like to highlight, the education of our country. But in education in India, education is not only the development of one's personality, but it is also the substantial growth of the nation. It is the foundation on which the development of every citizen and the nation as a whole hinges. The quality of elementary education in India has also been a major cause of worry for the government. Despite all the efforts of the government, universalization of education in India remains a distant dream. Education is a gift that cannot be taken away. So we have to keep in mind, all the parliamentarians, the governing people, if you have a plan for 1 year for our nation, plant rice. If you have a plan for 10 years for our nation, plant trees. If you have a plan for 100 years for our nation, educate every children in our country. So this is, I have made a complete child, because this is the education needed, where physical curriculum, like the physical development, should be brought into the curriculum, where an importance should be given to a student and it should not be considered as an extracurricular activity. Physical development education should come into their curriculum. Creative curriculum is art, music, drama and movement, which is definitely going to take the fear of a student facing a lot of people. That also has to come into the curriculum, which is again considered as an extracurricular activity in our country. Language curriculum, that is reading and writing, because everybody today has smartphones, everything is on WhatsApp, everything is on social media, but where is the writing and where is the listening gone? That is lacking nowadays. So that should be brought back to the curriculum for a complete child. And maths, social science, nutrition. Because now everybody wants to, whatever you eat on your plate, before eating everybody goes into the smartphone. Is it healthy? Is that cholesterol? Is it going to affect everything? All things. Why don't we educate every child of our nation from the school days, what is good, what is not right? That also has to bring into the curriculum of the education system in our country, which makes a complete child when they go for their higher studies, because the option is always to their engineering or any other stream. So importance should be given to all the children during their course of study in school. Change is required in our education system. Rote learning. Yes, the country faces a lot of problems to it. During the 10th and the 12th result, only children are highlighted who have the higher score, are flashed in the media, flashed everywhere. What is happening? Are the schools going only mark oriented? Are the schools going only percentage oriented? What has happened to our curriculum? So teachers should stop, might be the higher management or the government should instruct the schools not only to aim for the higher percentage, it should also go and you should find out what also happening in the other curriculum of the student. Marking system. You should respect all the streams. Respect for only certain streams are given during school education. Entrepreneurship, which is completely not here nowadays. Only children are opting for a corporate company to just come and take them when they are studying in the institutions. What has happened to entrepreneurship? If only everybody wants to become one leader, where are the other people going to be? Because to me always, one leader should create more leaders. So entrepreneurship will definitely bring about leadership in the school system. Syllabus should be dynamic. And the level of education in the school is flipped room class model should come in. Students are always placed inside the classrooms where the teacher is just demonstrating the class. There should be a flip system where the student should also be allowed to take a topic in school level also, whether it is a government school. When it comes to education, it should be common throughout the country. So you must be taught how to think than taught not what to think. So children are the world's most valuable resource and its best hope for future. Educating the mind without educating their heart is not education at all. You should educate the heart of the children, not only their minds. So teaching and learning, a small curriculum I've made where reaching out to the children should not be only preaching. Interactive based teaching rather than just broadcasting. Demonstration or laboratory based learning should be encouraged, and experiments in the laboratories should not be conducted as a formality. Recent advancements pertain to the topic should be given to the student. Encouraging the less interested student by giving them the ample chances of them to explore. If you focus on results, you can never change. But if you focus on the change, you will have results. So student and teacher interaction, how it should be. Encouraging the question at the end of every session and giving responses with patience and interest to the simplest question of the topic. Listen to the student with the utmost importance and make the student to ask the queries to develop the enthusiasm in learning. System should encourage students to learn by themselves by not just feeding them. So education, as you know, is the most powerful weapon which will change the nation. How should a classroom be? The importance of making life as significant as possible should be taught as a part of the classroom teaching whenever and wherever is possible. Students should be made empowered not only with the technical skill set, but also make them ready to face the modern day challenges of life in the form of handling stress and unprecedented change in the country. Investing belief that classroom is not only the platform to overall development and also should offer opportunities to the students to involve and experience it. A student or a child educated only in the educational institution is an uneducated child. Education is not the preparation of life. Education is life itself. Education is not learning the facts, but the training of minds to think. Vision 2020, Help Me Achieve My Dreams, by our Honorable Bharat Ratna Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So the desirable goal for Vision 2020, introduce a curriculum that encourages positive thinking in every child. Curriculum will facilitate joyful learning rather than memorizing. Provide girl education and ensuring their full enrollment in studies. Dropout rate should be reduced. All governments should monitor the dropout rates in school, because the dropout rates, when the dropout rates are less, usually says when you monitor them, then the crime rate will definitely come down in the country, because any government doesn't care about the dropouts in the school. Dropout children should be considered and skill development should be taught to the dropouts of the school. Providing inclusive education for the special need children. Children should be taught about their environment, social and cultural content and economic scenario. Achieving 100% enrollment of all children in the 6 to 14 year age group. These are the gaps in our educational system. Life skills and mission, cultural values, where respect is not practiced nowadays, respect should become a habit. Career requirement, nation's requirement, respecting nature, and spiritual enlightenment. These are the gaps our education system is facing nowadays. So do not confine your children to your own learning. Don't just teach them to read. Teach them to question what they read. Teach them to question everything. Every child has different learning style and pace. Each child is not capable of learning, but also capable of succeeding. So my recommendation as an responsible one among citizens of our country, introduction of problem-based learning system. Learning is initialized by a post-problem query or puzzle that the learner wants to solve. Students work in small learning teams, bringing together collective skills at acquiring communication and integral information. More attention on practical learning. Innovative tool must be accomplished with books. Relevance of theory in real and commercial life. Introduction of democracy in schools. Flexible timetable. They have to select their own electives. Flexibility of take-up for some time. Gap is not bad. The whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows. How the school education has to be. To bring about qualitative changes in the field of education, certain policy measures need to be taken by the government. Quality of education in government schools is also significantly influenced by the quality of teachers. Simple handling technology to the student is not going to boost the student achieve on his own. Teachers need to be trained too. Students have to be prepared for life and not for exams. So I, as an initiative, as a responsible of my country, what all I've done at my university is we have made social service as a compulsory for every student to be involved, because in the other countries, for any student to finish his higher education, either he should work in the government forces like the military or air force, or he has to involve in any social activity. I think our government should also think about that. During the students are doing their higher education, they should definitely do any either a government job or serve the military or the Indian force, or they should do some social service. So we have adopted more schools where our students go and work there and do their social service there. We've adopted a village recently where our students go and they're going to bring it out as a model school. Extending support to the war widows. Every institution should think about the country, because nobody thinks about, we think about only the Jawans, but who's thinking about the war widows as such? We should also render our support, and a more flexible open system should come for supporting these war widows' children. Encouraging inclusive education. In my university, even I have the application of my university printed in Braille. My visiting card, which I have given to all of them today, is in Braille. And there are inclusive children studying there, doing their engineering too. So all educational institutions should become inclusive. We don't need a separate institution for them. Vocational training for rural upliftment. Earn while you learn program. My Saturday University is also an initiative of our university where the children from the government schools are brought to the well-established institutions where they will be taught computers. What is not available in the government schools, these private schools can take off. That is My Saturday initiative, where the university will open for the government schools and for the underprivileged children to come and learn their education, because the infrastructure as such is available on the weekends. I alone can't change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. So before I end, a word: never stop learning, because life never stops teaching. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your wonderful speech, ma'am. I request Mr. T. N. Ashok to give in a memento to ma'am, please.